They've rolled out this Mark 1 Golf GTI. We thought it was knitted, but actually it's been iced. I can have my first ever on-track drive in the Golf GTI Edition 50. Vamos!
Vamos!
Hello and welcome back to the Volks Wizard channel, and welcome to a video with a difference, because today we're at Circuit Catalunya near Barcelona to celebrate 50 years of the Golf GTI. Yet this year Volkswagen España have taken it upon themselves to organise GTI 50 Fest, which is a bit like a mini versus a GTI festival, but instead of having a lake we have the famous F1 track, and you, if you buy a ticket that isn't that expensive, can drive on it in a brand new Golf GTI. Of course, I'm going to take that opportunity up, as you'll see later in the video, in a Golf GTI Edition 50. But first, let me give you a tour of this event, which, unlike a lot of events in Austria and Germany, has the benefit of this amazing Spanish weather. But before we get started, let me just remind you guys to subscribe if you haven't already, and another way you can support the channel is to sell me your interesting VW Group vehicle. I'm currently very open-minded about which makes and models to buy, so if you've got anything with full service history, average mileage or below, in really good condition, and ideally unmodified, then get in touch with me by email, andrew@volkswizard.co.uk. You'll deal with just me from beginning to end, and I promise a very fair trade price. It may be a bit of a surprise to find this crazy GTI event for a German car in Spain, but there is a bit of a history, because in 2016 Volkswagen España organised an event at Jarama Circuit near Madrid, and they did it again in 2017. They called it 41 years of the Golf GTI, which sounds a bit weird, and then they ran out of money, but Worthersee in Austria was still going until 2023. So in 24 we had GTI Fan Fest at Wolfsburg, but clearly after that they weren't that keen to repeat it in Germany, and Volkswagen España had a history of doing an amazing event. So that's why we're here now in 2026 at 50 years of the Golf GTI at the famous F1 circuit. So let's give you a quick tour of what's going on here then. We have got the cars in relative order, or they were before the parade lap, which I'll show you later in the video. But it's interesting just to see these cars. They're all pretty much Spanish. I haven't seen any French cars. I definitely haven't seen any British cars. But there are some bloody good Mark IIIs here, because they don't rust. I mean, look at this early car with the really boring wheels. Beautiful red anniversary, modified car. Mark IV, R32 there. Mark II with steel wheels that haven't rusted. Harlequin, Mark II. A really cool feature of GTI 50 Fest isn't that GTI tattoo studio where you can have a GTI tattoo engraved on you. It's the fact you can drive an Edition 50 on Circuit Catalunya. So let's go and get signed on, and I can have my first ever on-track drive in the Golf GTI Edition 50. Here we are then in the Golf GTI Edition 50 in the pit lane at Circuit Catalunya with my instructor Victor, who's going to help me get the most out of this car in a safe way on this famous F1 track. Okay, so just I've asked Victor to tell me what to do because whilst I've got an idea where the track goes, it's not well enough to make the most of the car. So with Victor's help, he's an expert. I bet you've driven here loads, haven't you?
Yes. Pre-lap, Golf 13 anniversary. Se trata de... sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry is a little English.
Yeah, sure. All you need to do is tell me faster. Vamos.
Vale, okay.
Okay, and brake, which is...
Go.
Yeah, that's good. And brake.
Brake, full throttle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Help me along, yeah. Okay?
Okay.
Vamos.
Vamos. Fourth gear.
Go. Vamos.
Go. Vamos. Full. Rear. Right. Brake. Full brake. Okay, vamos.
Vamos.
Full
Brake.
Delicate. Full throttle. Full.
You're a bad man.
Yeah. Full throttle. Full.
Come on.
5 gear.
Vamos.
Vamos. Full brake.
226. The brakes are so good, man.
Yeah.
They're amazing.
Incredible brake.
Okay, I'm in the pit garages here at the circuit and they've got some cars on display. The first one is the new electric ID.Polo GTI due out in the next year. It's obviously based on the ID.Polo. The conversion externally to GTI was done by a guy called Thibaut, who's a Hungarian designer, and he's a really cool guy, and he was telling me all about the design features on this car. I asked him about the wheels, and because I didn't recognize them from a previous VW, but he said they were from the steel wheels on the original 1976 GTI, and the red fangs are like the towing eye that you get on racing cars. So that's the GTI future. I guess you could say this is the GTI present and the GTI past. So GTI 50 in dark moss green, 744 around the Nürburgring by Benny Leuchter. And here, I think together for the first time that I've seen, we have the record car from the original Nürburgring record in 2016, the car I drove around the Nordschleife in August 2024 and did a review on it. If you haven't seen that video, I'll put a link in the description of this one. We continue down the generations. I think these are probably owner cars rather than press fleet cars because the spec on them is a bit non-standard. So this car's got some BBS wheels that look like Edition 30 Pescaras, but it's a Mark 6 Edition 35. Has it got the better interior we never got in the UK? Yes, it does. Check that out, guys. Why didn't we get that? I do not know. Non-standard exhaust as well. And then here we have a very pretty Mark 5, basic spec, normal headlights, no sunroofs, tartan 17-inch wheels. And then here we have a very plain looking in comparison to those cars, Mark 4 GTI with the BBS wheels. And around the corner it must be a Mark 3, yeah. It looks like an anniversary with those wheels, but it's not. There seem to be a lot of Mark 3s around in Spain because the rust hasn't got them. And then here we have Mark 2, small bumper, some BBS wheels, non-standard car. A little bit flat, the paint, but nice. A little bit of a different air intake for the cabin there, maybe because they need more air in Spain because it's so hot. And here we have a really nice, finally, standard looking Mark 1 single headlight. And it looks like here you can stand by a golf ball by a GTI logo and have your photo taken, which is pretty cool. It looks really weird this, but we've got people using Sims here all lined up. These people look like they're taking it very seriously. Get them started young then with this GTI 50 Fest pedal car track. How cool is that? If I was 50 years younger, I'd be super excited about that. Now tucked away in this pit garage at the end is the hard-working support team that keep these cars on the road during the day. So as well as the media like me driving them, they are booked out for the whole day with a paying public, paying I think like €80 and they get a couple of laps, well, 2 laps and a cooling down lap of this crazy F1 circuit, which, as you can imagine, in like 40-degree heat is really hard work on the brakes and on the tyres. So this car's on the Bridgestone Potenza Race, but a lot of the Edition 50 out there were on Pirellis for some reason, and I don't even think there were semi-slicks as well. And tucked away in this pit garage, we have 2 of the Volkswagen driving experience Golf R's that are doing the drifting on the other side of the car park. So we have the one in lapis blue here, black Estorils, sunroof. Now, to do the drifting, they put something on the back tyres that makes them have no traction at all, and it really makes it easy to drift, even in like 40-degree heat, where there's loads and loads of grip. A big part of GTI 50 Fest is the parade. So if you've got a certain ticket, you can drive around the track. It's not a fast lap, obviously, but they seem to be in some sort of order. So we've got Mark 4s here on the left, and we've got Mark 5s and the odd Mark 6 on the right. Now, you won't be surprised to know there is a really cool GTI shop here at GTI 50 Fest selling loads of GTI merch. Normally, I love what's in the shop, but I don't buy it because I've got to bring it home somehow and I just don't have room in the car. But this time I could not resist temptation. So I have bought a model Golf GTI Edition 50. It's a no-rev model. It's a big one in a cool box, and yeah, tornado red with the red wheels. Well, you know, you might as well make it look like an Edition 50. It was just on your shelf rather than on the road. So that was about 60 euros. So it's about 50 quid. And I bought a t-shirt. Now this is only from the event. So it says GTI 50 Fest and on it, which, you know, is today only ever. So that's just a nice souvenir. Sometimes the best things are free though. So I was walking past a show car and this literally fell on the floor with the wind, and this is like a number plate cover that says GTI 50 Fest. They're probably all going to go in the bin anyway, so that's a really cool souvenir to take home. And it doesn't take up an awful lot of room. Yay. Okay, this is towards the end of the event and they've rolled out this Mark 1 Golf GTI. We thought it was knitted, but actually it's been iced. So if you look closely, you can see all the icing on it, and well, that looks edible on the top of it as well.
El aplauso para Bárbara, para toda la gente que ha hecho posible este cumpleaños. Y bueno, Cristian. Hola.
Okay, well, this is the cake off the Mark 1 Golf GTI. Is it any good?
Can I have a bit?
Yeah.
Thanks for the cameo in your video, mate. Let's have a little look.
Quality.
That's really nice,
That's
actually.
really nice.
Yeah.
Okay, well, GTI 50 Fest is coming to an end, and they're just giving awards out to the best cars of the show. They're the Tornado Red Mark II with the BBS body kit and Le Castellet wheels down there, and the owner's telling everybody about his life with the car. So yeah, it's been a very interesting event. I didn't know what to expect. It wasn't really promoted in the UK, and as a result, I haven't seen a UK car or person here really, apart from a couple of other media that have come with Volkswagen UK. It's been really well organised. I don't think VW España make any money out of this. They run it as an event to promote the GTI brand, and they do a really good job. There's so many amazing lineups of cars. You can go and do the R driving experience over there and drift. And for 80 euros, you can drive a GTI flat out on the famous F1 track here at Circuit of Catalonia. That is amazing value for money. So if it's on again, and they actually promote it in the UK, I'd consider coming, because all you have to do is get a ferry from the UK to Santander or Bilbao, and then it's about 500 miles. Anyway, as ever, thanks for watching this Volks with the video. Keep subscribing, keep commenting, and I'll see you for the next one very soon.